Hey, what are you doing? Did I surprise you? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. You're kind of jumpy today. Are you feeling all right? Yeah? You always say yeah, but then sometimes if I ask you again, you give a different answer. Is this one of those times? If I asked you again, what would you say? Rough day. Oh, baby, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm not sorry you told me, but I wish your day was going better. That's why you don't like to tell me when you're having rough days? Because it makes me feel bad? Well, it's not your fault you're having a bad day, baby. No. Why do you think it's your fault? Oh, you're really struggling today? With your addiction? It's not really fair, is it? How every single day is different. Sometimes you have a whole week where you feel like you're really beating it. But then right after that, one bad day can send you right back to where you felt before, and it seems like you're back at the beginning. But you know that's not true, right? You don't lose all your progress when you relapse. All that hard work you did, all the days you made it through, those still count. I bet it's exhausting. You're having to make all these tiny little decisions every day. Sometimes it probably feels like every second, where you want to focus on something else, but your brain just keeps bringing you back to that one thing that you're fighting against. What is that like when it's really bad? You get scared you might just give up and give in. What does it feel like? I'm sorry, maybe we shouldn't talk about it. I don't want to make things harder for you. We should probably be doing anything but talking about it. You think it helps sometimes? What, to tell me how you're feeling? It helps me be more supportive when I have an understanding of what you're dealing with. I mean, I can't really imagine it. Not because it's so far from anything I've felt, but because I believe you when you say it really is that difficult. It's affected your whole life. I mean, that's a big part of what makes it an addiction, right? It started out so small and simple, but over time it started taking over. It started interrupting you and keeping you from doing things that are really important. I know when you went to get help, they really like to focus on school or work. Oh, it's only this serious if it affects your classes or your job. And yeah, I'm not arguing with professionals. That's still a really great way to gauge things and get an idea of how it's going. But your personal life is just as important, if not more important. A lot of people really appear to be functional through addiction. They put on a brave face when they're out and about, but once they get home, they're alone with this big, overwhelming, secret addiction. And that keeps so many people from getting help. I know it wasn't easy talking to me about it. I was the most difficult one to tell about it. Why? Shouldn't I be the one person who would understand you and not judge you? Oh. Okay, we're the closest to each other that you've ever been with anyone. So I guess that makes sense. You were afraid if I heard about your struggles and rejected you, then I would leave. You were really afraid that you might lose me? Oh, baby, I'm sorry you felt that way. That sounds so heavy. Knowing you wanted help, but worrying that the people you turned to would leave when they found out. That sounds so lonely and hopeless. I wish you never had to feel that way. I was surprised, to be honest, when you came to me all serious and said you wanted to talk to me about something, that you had something to tell me. To be honest, I thought that you had eaten all the chips. And yes, you had eaten all the chips, and I was kind of upset over that, but what you really wanted to share was how much you were struggling, how deep into trouble you had gotten, and how it seemed there was no way out. I wasn't expecting that. I am so glad you told me. I know you tried to fix it on your own. You really did. You tried so hard. How many times did you tell yourself, enough is enough, I'm going to fix this today? And you'd be off to a great start, but then you'd have a stressful day at work, or you'd be alone for too long, and that feeling would come creeping back. That feeling that you could slip up just a little, and it would be fine. Or thinking you'd been doing so well that maybe things weren't as bad as you thought. Maybe you really did have this under control. Maybe you could stop anytime you wanted. But that wasn't true, was it? It was out of control. And trying to gain back control made things feel worse. And I know you said you felt bad because you really were trying. I believe that. And then when you fell back into it, you'd feel so upset at yourself, and you didn't want anyone to ever find out. It was like this constant cycle of trying to climb out on your own, and then failing, and then feeling worse. But I know you wanted out. And it's so hard to trust people, especially if you've been hurt before. I can't imagine the courage it took to come talk to me. I know you wanted to fix everything first and then tell me. But that's not what happened. You came to me when you were struggling the most, when you were feeling your worst, and when you were feeling so vulnerable. What did you think I was going to say? You really thought I was going to leave you? Why did you tell me then if you thought I might just turn and walk away when you needed me the most? Because you love me and you didn't want to lie to me? So you were willing to give up everything because you didn't want to hurt me? And you'd rather be hurt instead? Honey, I love you so much. And you know I'm never leaving. You know that now. I know you never want to hurt me. And I'm so proud of you for asking for help. That takes a lot of courage and a lot of emotional energy. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't like you just told me and we hugged and things were suddenly okay. No, that was just the start. It was tough. It was really hard on me. I wasn't mad at you. You've never done anything to purposefully hurt me, so that wasn't my first reaction. I didn't feel betrayed or anything. But I was really sad because you'd been struggling with this for so long on your own. And you did lie to me about some things, and that was not cool. I know we spent some time working through that. It hurt my heart to hear you felt like you ever had to hide your pain from me. Or that you felt ashamed of who you were and what you were dealing with. When you hide stuff like that, it gives it power. It adds to the loneliness and tells you more reasons to just give up and not try to make things better. But when you take a secret like that and you put it out in the open, it takes away its power. It takes away the hold it has over you. And then instantly you are not alone. Suddenly, it's not you versus your addiction. It's you and me and your entire support network against your addiction. And we are all here for you, and we all want you to beat this. We want you to be happy. I want you to be happy. I want you to live the best life that you can. Dealing with this addiction is tough. It tried to take you away from me. It tried to separate us and steal you away. But that's never going to happen. Nope. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not in a week. I am never, ever letting you go, and nothing is going to keep you from living a happy and fulfilling and meaningful life. I am no pro at this. I've certainly learned some lessons along the way. I know there have been times where I said the wrong thing or wasn't supportive in the ways that you needed the most. I've accidentally enabled you before. And gosh, it must be so hard when you're the one having such a hard time and then you have to stop and try to educate me on things when I'm the one you're needing to lean on. But we're not aiming for perfect. We just want things to be better. Sometimes we have a day that's miles from where you were. It's almost like you never dealt with your addiction in the first place. And then there are really, really difficult days. Days that make us mad and sad and tired. But those days count. They are still steps forwards. And healing hurts sometimes. But it's part of the process. Oh, I wish life was just easy. I wish wish once we changed something, it was changed forever. But that's not how it works, and that's okay. Being aware of that is half the battle sometimes. Do I wish you didn't deal with this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would change it in a heartbeat. I would love to just take this away from you, and you'd never have to think about it again. I'd never have to think about it again. But you do struggle. And I'm still here. And I still want to be here. You know that, don't you? I want to be with you. Our lives changed that night. You sat me down and you ate all the chips and then you told me you were struggling. And it's been rough. But I've always known that you were the person I was going to be with for the rest of my life. And nothing can drag me away from you. You are mine, baby. And I'm yours. And today is one of those rough days, huh? You just keep thinking about it. And then the more you try not to think about it, the more you think about it. Well, you don't have to do this alone. Remember, we learned a lot of really great ways we can tackle days like today. Stuff like looking for the source of the problem. Are you extra stressed? Or maybe you're tired or hungry and your inhibitions are down. The longer the day goes, the harder it can be to do difficult things, like stay on track. But, maybe it's just one of those days, and we just need to get through it. We can do that. Let's do something then. We can do something together that's distracting and just get past the worst part of it. Oh, I wasn't doing anything that's more important than making sure you are okay right now. Yeah, you'll probably make it through today and be okay, but I'm not just gonna leave you here to wrestle through it all by yourself. That would be terrible. Honey, don't worry about it. I was just working on my sock drawer. It's not important. It can definitely wait. Yeah, I saw someone rolled up all their socks in the drawer, and it looked kind of like roses to me. And I wanted to make a sock garden, so that's what I was working on. It's not important. It's fine. Well, I came to tell you I ate all the chips. Sweetie pie. You are my love. You're dealing with some tough stuff. But you are not a bad person. You are a good person who is struggling. And you are my person. And I love you so much. I'm sorry today is a rough day. But thanks for telling me. You can do this. And it's all gonna work out. I promise.